Everyone, myself Dr. Parth Goswami. I am the consultant pathologist and hope this video will find you all in a good health. So today I am going to teach you about inflammation. I will give you the overview of inflammation. What is the inflammation? What is the etiology of inflammation? And we will discuss the sequential event that will occur in the inflammation. So first of all, we will start with a definition. What do you mean by inflammation? So friends, the inflammation process is start, it begin due to the infection, or it will begin due to cell damage. So basically there are two important cause of starting of inflammation. So the inflammation is a response of vascularized tissue, right? It's a response of vascularized tissue that will deliver the leukocytes and certain molecules like that of kinin, plasma protein, etc. The molecules of host defense from the blood circulation, right? From the blood circulation to the site of infection or tissue injury to eliminate that particular infectious agent or offending agent. So, this is the perfect, complete definition of inflammation. It is a response of vascularized tissue to deliver the leukocyte and molecules of host defense from the blood circulation to the site of infection or cell damage to remove to eliminate that particular infectious agent or offending agent. All right, so that was about the definition. Now, in the common medical practice, in the common medical practice, most of the person believe that it is a harmful reaction. Inflammation is a harmful reaction of our body. So yes, it is a harmful, but only when the response is excessive and in exaggerated manner, like that of in a hypersensitivity reaction. Otherwise, it is not an harmful reaction. In fact, it is a protective response to remove the bacteria and offending agent. So actually, it's a protective response. And because of this that protective response, it is a essential response for the survival. Why I am telling it is a essential for the survival? It is written in the Robbins book of pathology that without inflammation, suppose there is a no inflammation in our body, then without inflammation there could be a three things why the person cannot survive. Because the without inflammation, the infection will go unchecked, right? The infection will not be checked, so you will have the ongoing continuous infection if in our body inflammation is not present. Without inflammation there will be no angiogenesis, there will be no fibroblast recruitment, and so there will be no wound healing, right? So there would be no wound healing if inflammation is not present in our body. And without inflammation, we know that injured tissue will not get repaired. Injured tissue will not get repaired. So if there is a no inflammation in body, there will be continuous infection, the wound will not heal, and the injured tissue will remain permanent as an ulcer. So a person cannot survive without inflammation. That's why it's a protective response of our body. Now for the inflammation, for the nomenclature of inflammation, the suffix itis is added to the organ of inflammation. Means suppose you have the inflammation in the appendix, then it is given the name inflammation of appendix, given the name appendicitis. Suppose you have the inflammation in a meninges of your brain, then the name given is meningitis. So in that way nomenclature of inflammation is given. Now I will teach you which are the cardinal signs of inflammation. Which are the signs? So basically there is a four sign of inflammation. There is a four main sign of inflammation that was given by scientist Celsus. The Celsus scientist has given the four sign of inflammation. The first sign is rubor, means redness in the inflamed area. Where there is a presence of inflammation, you will have the redness, and this redness is because of increased blood flow in the inflammation site. So where you have the infection or tissue damage, there will be increased blood flow, and because of that there will be redness, which is known by the name rubor. Second sign of inflammation is calor. It is a second sign of inflammation, means heat. The inflamed area will be warm. If you touch it, then it will feel hot, it will feel warm. That is also because of increased blood flow. All right. Third sign of inflammation is tumor. Here I am not talking about the cancerous tumor, right? It is not a cancer, it's a misnomer term. Here the tumor means edema or swelling, and that is because of increased vascular permeability of blood vessel. That is because of increased vascular permeability of blood vessel. And because of increased vascular permeability of a blood vessel, right, suppose this is your blood vessel, then here the vascular permeability will be increased, so that there will be escape of protein rich fluid, right? The middle one, protein rich fluid plasma, will escape into the surrounding tissue, and so in the surrounding tissue you will have the edema and swelling, right? All right. The fourth sign of inflammation is dolor, means pain. And you have the pain in inflammation because of prostaglandins and kinin, like that of chemical mediators. So basically there are four signs of inflammation: rubor, calor, tumor, and dolor, means redness, then heat. Right, here there is a spelling mistake: heat, edema or swelling, and the pain. So these four are the sign of inflammation, and all because of all this sign of inflammation, you can imagine that you will have a loss of function in the affected area, which is known by the name, which is known by the name functiolysia, right? Functiolysia. So the loss of function will be because of these four sign, and this particular fifth sign, loss of function, functiolysia, was introduced by one scientist named as an Virchow, Rudolf Virchow. So if you are asked in exam that which are the sign of inflammation, then total there is a five sign of inflammation. Four sign, basic sign is given by Celsus, and the fifth sign of inflammation was added by Rudolf Virchow, that is a loss of function. So there are five sign of inflammation. Okay, now I will teach you etiology of inflammation, which are the causes of inflammation. So the first cause of inflammation is infection. The infection is the most common cause of inflammation. Here the infection could be of bacterial, it could be of viral infection, it could be of fungal infection, or it could be because of parasitic infection. So the first etiology is infection. All right. Second etiology is foreign body. Here the foreign bodies means any suture in the body, any dirt, any tack, right? Any foreign body, splinter, suture, etc. All foreign body can induce a inflammation. Third cause is endogenous accumulation of certain substance. Endogenous accumulation of certain substance, like that of excessive fat, right? In the obese patient there is a accumulation of excessive lipid in the obesity, in the metabolic syndrome, so that can also induce an inflammation. Excessive urate crystal deposition can lead to gout, right? Excessive cholesterol deposition in the macrophage can lead to atherosclerosis in the blood vessel. If cholesterol get deposited, it can lead to atherosclerosis due to inflammation. So the endogenous accumulation of lipid, urate, cholesterol also can lead to inflammation. All right. The fourth cause is tissue damage or tissue necrosis. The causes of tissue injury or tissue necrosis could be physical agents, right? It could be because of physical agents. Physical agents means, it could be because of trauma, it could be because of some thermal injury, it could be because of some radiation, it could be because of some electric injury. So all that physical agent can lead to tissue necrosis and inflammation. Chemical injury can also be responsible for inflammation. It can also lead to tissue necrosis and inflammation. Chemical injury. Tissue necrosis most frequently observed in ischemia of any organ, and the ischemia is usually seen in myocardial infarction, like that of condition, right? In the infarction the blood supply is less. All right. And the last, fifth cause of inflammation is hypersensitivity reaction. We know very well that whenever the inflammation is excessive, exaggerated manner, it is known by the name hypersensitivity reaction. I have already made the video on hypersensitivity. You can check the playlist and see that video if you want to understand hypersensitivity in the detail. So these all are the etiology or the causes of inflammation. These all causes can initiate the inflammation in your body. Thank you very much and see you soon in the next video with the events of inflammation.